As we edge closer to the European Championships, the question on everybody's lips is, can Ukraine win Euro 2020? In this video, we're going to see just how far they can go in this summer's spectacular. Right, folks, back once again with another video. Today, it's all about Euro 2020 as we take a look at a nation's hopes of the tournament this summer. We'll see just how far they get, of course, in my eyes, when the tournament kicks off in June. We'll talk about that in a minute. Of course, a big shout out to the VIPs, the patrons behind the scenes. Thank you for your continued support. I do appreciate that, guys. And of course, if you want to join yourselves, check out the links down below, patreon.com/. But today, it's all about Ukraine. That's right, boys and girls, and hopefully by the end of this video we're going to tell you, I'm going to give you my opinion. Can they win it, Euro 2020, or will they win it? Of course, Euro 2020. We'll have those answers to you in due time, but let's take a look at, of course, how the Ukraine got to the Euros themselves. Of course, they managed to do it by topping Group B. That's right, beating the likes, of course, current Euro champions Portugal, and also ousting Serbia in what I believe is probably one of the hardest groups there. Three realistic nations that should have been in the Euros. I think if we're going to rank the top 24 nations in European football, Serbia would be in that top 24, and as well as Portugal and Uruguay as well. Ukraine. Sort that out, brother. So yeah, they're a decent nation these days. There ain't no slouches. They cannot be overlooked. They cannot be overlooked. I think the Ukrainians, they might not have no standout players no more, but their standout player is pulling the strings. It is their manager. That's right, Andriy Shevchenko pulling strings. We'll confirm that in a minute. 14th of October, they sealed the bloody deal. One of the earliest teams to get themselves through as well, unbeaten as well, and that's something you can't really overlook, that, because that means they played Portugal twice, come out of it without a defeat. They played Serbia twice and didn't suffer defeat. So it's good. Of course, this is their third championships. Of course, they were there last time out, 2016. They were there the tournament prior to that, 2012. So 3 tournaments in a row for the Ukraine. Their best ever performance, I don't know. I don't think they have anything of any importance anyway. Of course, like I said, their manager these days is legend Andriy Shevchenko. Bloody what a player he was, and he's turning out to be what a fantastic national manager as well. Of course, having them move in the right direction. Currently ranked 24th in the world, not necessarily in Europe, but 24th in the world. They were once ranked as high as 11th, though. Their best player for me, Viktor Tshashankov. Again, it's a debatable thing. You know, it depends on who you think. You got Malinovsky as well. They got Alexander Shinchenko, of course. Might not be first choice at Manchester City. And I think, to be fair, I think he needs to move from Manchester City if he's not getting the game. You've also got Taras Stepchenko as well. Roman Ramachuk. Some really good, hard-working players of a good age as well, mid-20s. They're there for the long haul. They're there for this one. They're there for Qatar, and they'll probably be there for the next Euros in 2024. Goodness gracious me, it's a good time to be Ukrainian. It's a good time to be Ukrainian, boys. I think they've got a realistic chance to be one of those awkward, problematic dark horses that everybody keeps talking about. Of course, let's take a look at their record compared to the rest of Europe then, shall we? As they got to the tournament itself, finishing as high as 6th. Yes, 6th, ahead of the likes of France. Oh my goodness, ahead of the likes of Croatia and the Dutch. And of course, their bitter rivals, nearest and dearest, Russia. Of course, so they're not slouches here, boys. They're there, boys, to be part of this. They're not here just to make up the numbers. They're here to cause some problems. Let's take a look at their passage potentially into those knockout stages then, shall we? Of course, they are in Group C, alongside those fellow bigger boys, I'd say, is the Dutch, and of course alongside Austria. I think that's their key opponent here is the Austrians, and then North Macedonia. To be fair, I think they're making up the numbers. But North Macedonia will come here with a bit of a mentality to be a problem team themselves, to take points off of the likes of the Dutch, the Ukraines, the Austrians, to try and nick draws off of them, and that's what the Ukrainians have got to avoid. Avoid picking up draws against Austria, against North Macedonia, because I think they will have a really difficult encounter up against the Dutch, because they are a host nation. I think the Dutch might be a host nation. Yeah, big fat double H's there to confirm that. The key match for me though is against North Macedonia, and it is match number 2 for them. Of course, they'll kick off the tournament up against the Dutch in, of course, Holland, or the Netherlands, of course, on the 30th of June. Then they take on North Macedonia. If they can get something out of the first game against the Dutch, that'll be a point in the bag. And then, of course, they should, hopefully, in their eyes, their mentality, take the 3 points off North Macedonia. And then they'll set themselves off with, of course, they could just be cautious, park the bus against Austria, and of course get the point and get through to the next stages. So you know what? So the recipe is there, the ingredients are there for Ukraine. Beat North Macedonia, and hope the Ukraine game against Austria is just a matter of holding firm and taking the point. But I'm not saying that that's what they. I think Ukraine could easily beat Austria. On every given day. It's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a tough game between Austria and Ukraine. It could go either way, but if they've managed to pick up a point against the Dutch, 3 points against North Macedonia, they would realistically just need a point against Austria to get them through to the knockout stages, and I think that's what they need to do. It is a very, very pleasing group. If I was a Ukrainian guy, I'd be looking at this and thinking, we got a good chance here, not only to just go through, but potentially to get ourselves a good placement in the knockout stages here. So it's up for grabs. If I'm comparing, of course, the Dutch will fancy the chances and they'll be the favourites for this. And I do anticipate the Dutch will win the group. But the Ukrainians, they're not just here to be a part of the 4 nations. They're here to be beaten. They're going to be hard to beat. So yeah, let's take a look at what the bookies think on this one. The bookies think there will be 3-1 on to qualify. That's pretty strong odds. Of course, to win the thing, 80-1. 80-1. That's quite a chunk of change. Can Ukraine win it? I do think they can win it. Yes, I'm going to bet a big, but I'm putting a big fat tick next to the name in the likes of Greece, in the likes of the Danes back in 1992. They're a team that you don't want to play. You don't want to play the Ukraine. Of course, if let's just say Italy played Ukraine 100 times. Let's just say they played 100 times back to back. Italy would probably win the majority of those. They'll probably win maybe 60-70% of those. But guess what? 30% of those will go to the Ukraine. There is a chance that Ukraine, could go through this whole tournament unbeaten. There is a chance. There's a chance for all nations to do that. But that's a bit of a stretch, though. But Ukraine are an awkward kind of team. They've got the players, they've got the personnel, they've got the manager who is die-hard Ukrainian, and of course, Mr. Passion, Mr. Loyalty. If anyone could get these guys believing that they're onto something, it's Andrei Shevchenko. So they've got the right personnel pulling the strings. He is a legend for the Ukrainian game, and hopefully he can use his legendary status to not only boost the players, boost the nation, boost the hopes of Ukraine. So yes, I think they can win it, but ultimately I don't think they'll win it. Of course, I think they'll have a good tournament. Do I? I can't remember what I put. I have them going to the second round. I do see them getting past the group stages. I think they will come up against a nation like a Germany, a France, maybe. I can't really remember what I put in the old thing, but hey, you know what? Getting out of that group and of course prolonging your tournament for another game, I think is what their goal should be for the time being. And then after that, who knows? Who knows? If you can get past the second round. If you get past the second round, you know what? You've got a good chance to go deep, maybe into the semi-finals and beyond. You just don't know, because I'm sure of a nation like Ukraine and Austria gets to the second round, they'll be so happy with the fact that they're there. They're going to be very, very cautious not to crash out at the stage. They're going to be, we see it a lot of the times in World Cups, in Euros, that the smaller, less fancied nations will be more defensive and try and push for penalties. It might not be their style, because they don't really back their defensive side. I think their attacking side is where it's all at for the Ukraine. There you have it, folks. There you bloody have it. If you agree or disagree, let me know your opinions out in the comment section down below. And while you're at it, check out the description. I've got links to my other social media platforms. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitch, and I'm even on Patreon if you want to support the channel in another way. Again, we'll be covering the tournament extensively over the summer. Of course, we've got watch-alongs, previews, predictions, of course, all of that stuff, and many, many more. So make sure you, of course, smash your subscribe. And while you're at it, give the video a big old fat thumbs up. Again, I'll see you all very soon for another one tomorrow. Until then, Well, there you have it, folks. There you bloody have it. Of course, we'll have exclusive coverage for Euro 2020 over on the channel. Of course, we'll have match previews, match reviews, of course, watch-alongs and all kinds of stuff, including predictions as well. No. Well, there you have it, folks. There you bloody have it. If you agree or disagree, let me know your opinions in the comment section down below. And while you're at it, check out the description. I'm on Twitter, Twitch. Well, there you have it, folks. There you bloody have it. Of course, if you agree or disagree, let me know your opinions out in the comment section down below. And while you're at it, make sure you check out the description. I've got links to my other social media platforms are on there. I'm on Twitter, Facebook, on Twitch as well. And if you want to check me out at Patreon, you can check that out as well. Also, exclusive and extensive coverage of Euro 2020 this summer on the channel. We'll have, of course, previews. We'll have predictions, of course, watch-alongs as well. And, of course, we might even get a reappearance of Cass, the predicting cat, the real cat, not DigiCass. But, of course, lots of stuff on the channel. So make sure you give the video a big old fat thumbs up while you're at it, and of course make sure you smash the subscribe. Until then, I'll see you all very soon for another one. Until then, I'm out.